No footballer before or since has been so wonderfully unconventional as Argentina's little god, Diego Armando Maradona. The dichotomous life and career of El Pibe d'Oro is a journey of glory and controversy. For convenience, the unruly wizard from Buenos Aires distilled the whole spectrum into a single match. It was the quarter-final of the 1986 Mexico World Cup between Argentina and England, and Maradona was at the height of his powers captaining La Albiceleste. In the 51st minute, the squat number 10 took flight and seemed to head the ball past England keeper Peter Shilton and into the goal. In fact, Maradona had made contact with his hand, which everyone on the field except the referee had seen, and the goal was allowed. Knowing full well he'd gotten away with murder, Maradona celebrated, later claiming he'd scored via the hand of God. Not 4 minutes later, Diego's polarising nature revealed itself when he executed a legitimate display of brilliance, dribbling 66 yards past 5 England players to slot the goal of the century, sending Argentina on to eventually win the cup. Handballs aside, it was Maradona's World Cup. He was sublime throughout the rest of the tournament, leading his nation to a victory that puts him in a small club of greats alongside Pelé. To marvel even further, perhaps with macabre fascination, by 1986 he was deep in the throes of a heavy romance with cocaine. In front of the whole world, he blatantly skirted responsibility, and he did it smiling. As time went on, he showed no sign of apologising either, even cheekily recreating the moment at an exhibition match in Korea in 2017. Winning a World Cup under the cloud of an infamous infringement, while juggling nefarious private habits, might seem like a twist in a wild fairy tale. But when we take stock of where the Golden Boy came from and where he would go, it doesn't seem all that unconventional. For a shameless heist in the quarter-final of a World Cup to not be all that unconventional in his career, you know that Diego Maradona had to have been pretty wild. In fact, his cavalier ways got him completely lost at sea. It became apparent just how lost when he tested positive for cocaine in 1991 while with Napoli. He received a 15-month ban, signposting the end of his time with the Italian club. His descent continued in the lead-up to and throughout the 1994 World Cup. Struggling with form and fitness, Maradona had responded to some overly intrusive reporters by shooting a compressed air rifle in their direction, hitting and injuring some of them. He would back this up with another failed drug test at USA 94, this time for ephedrine doping. Argentina, the nation that had once held him on high, wondered how it had all gone so disastrously wrong. Maradona would spiral further, becoming a caricature who battled with weight, booze and drugs. He sought rehab in Cuba when the United States wouldn't take him, and thanks to his extroverted nature, became pure tabloid bait.
Because the US did not give me a visa, the bosses did not give me a visa. But they did not give the visa on account of the people's wishes, but because the bosses do that sort of thing all the time. But I am really very happy and convinced that I will be much better in Cuba than in the middle of the hostility of the American bosses.
So Maradona's once-in-a-generation talent on the pitch turned out to be equalled by his flaws. But there was always a strong chance he would follow a road less trodden. Born in 1960, Maradona grew up in a family of 8 children in the slums on the outskirts of Buenos Aires, against the backdrop of the Argentine Revolution in full swing. When Diego emerged from the slums as a rare soul with other earthly gifts for the world game, he chose not to gain distance from his upbringing, and rather embrace the Argentine spirit, establishing himself as a man of the people. The clubs he played for ran parallel with his wild tendencies. He became Argentina's youngest ever player to turn professional, signing with Argentinos Juniors when he was still only 15. He would go on to sign with the mighty Boca Juniors in 1981, a club situated in the heart of the Bohemian neighbourhood of La Boca, famed for its working-class passion and pride. To them, Maradona became a misfit hero. Thanks to his uncanny genius, almost entirely executed with his left foot, Argentina couldn't hold him forever, and Maradona was lured to Barcelona in 1982 for a then record $7.6 million. It was during his first 2 years at Camp Nou that his demons began to arrive. On field, the most anticipated transfer of all time was underwhelming. Plagued by illness, injury and incident, like his involvement in a savage fight with Athletic Bilbao players in the final of the 1984 Copa del Rey. In Spain, he also developed a taste for a certain substance that brought down many an egomaniac in the decade fashion forgot. But this was just a taste of the hedonism he'd caught when he found a culture in which he truly thrived. Diego experienced a deep affinity with Italy. During his 7 seasons with Napoli from 1984 to 1991, Maradona would lead the club to its first ever Italian league title and European trophy. What's more, he felt a deeper connection with the city, linked to his irrepressible empathy for the common folk. Maradona once said, "I'm the voice of the people who haven't got a voice. Lots of people feel I represent them because I've got a microphone in front of me they'll never have." In Napoli, he became a symbol of hope in the north-south political friction that divided the country. He inherited this role on a personal level. He was voicing anger that problems still existed in the region as late as 2017, calling to have it recognised by FIFA President Gianni Infantino.
The Neapolitan is discriminated.
It harked back to the World Cup match with England. Maradona viewed the clash as symbolic of the Falklands War from 4 years earlier, further spurring him on to the win. His revolutionary spirit also influenced the company he kept, like former Cuban leader Fidel Castro.
I have Fidel in my memory. And I have Fidel in my heart.
His love of the common folk even played into an interaction with Pope John Paul II. Reflecting on a meeting he once had with the pontiff, Maradona said, "I've been to the Vatican and seen the gold ceilings, and then I hear the Pope saying that the church was concerned about poor kids. So, sell the ceilings, amigo. Do something." But that's digressing. For all his passion for social justice, when it came to his own life, it was a different story. As a player, his fame reached biblical proportions in Italy. There was no limit to the excess he could find in the off hours, and Maradona plunged even deeper into hard living. As he'd done with the Hand of God incident, he pleaded an obscure kind of innocence. During one inquiry into his illicit substance use, he claimed that people knew he was clean, but that I'll continue with the case because I want to know who it is and if the enemy is close to me. For all his untouchable qualities both on and off the field, Maradona's escapades eventually caught up with him. No longer able to balance his habits with performance, and following the 15-month ban, Maradona left Napoli in 1992. He would never return to top form. Throughout the 1990s, he had a brief stint with Sevilla, then returned to Argentina, eventually going full circle and ended up playing 3 seasons with Boca Juniors. All the while, he was hampered by his weakness for overeating and substance abuse. He fought back at times, although in odd ways, including the perhaps ill-informed appointment of Ben Johnson as a fitness coach in 1997. That's Sprinter Ben Johnson, the most notorious drug cheat of the 1988 Olympics. Eventually, Maradona did start making better decisions, and he turned his life around. But it took going completely over the edge to get him there. Few have pushed the boundaries as far as Diego Maradona. In 2001, he found his limit. He was admitted to hospital and fell into a coma he almost didn't wake from. This scare and his love of family led him to the light.
Mi familia, mis hijas.
My family and my daughters are the reason why I stopped thinking about cocaine. I became close to God, but I didn't put my trust in any religion or witch doctors. My gods were my daughters, Dalma and Yanina.
As he did make it, we were blessed with more sustainable entertainment from El Pibe d'Oro as he grew older. He became a tireless supporter of charity matches, in which he was happy to remain the antagonist. And his unfiltered public responses produced plenty of gold, whether that be in the way he maintained impatience with the intrusive press, or responded to the unending comparisons between him and Argentina's modern superstar, Lionel Messi.
He drinks a coffee, and people say, Maradona drank it this way. I think he is advancing his career, and his children will see that.
As murky as his world became, nothing can take away the memories of Diego at his best.
My dream was always to lift the World Cup trophy like Diego. Today, all children dream that, to be able to give people such happiness, like the happiness Maradona gave us.
His was a talent that, in spite of the damage he did to himself, still enchanted the world. And for that, we pay homage.
Thanks for watching. For more great content on all things football, make sure you hit the subscribe button.